Hi, today I'd like to talk to you about using the Photoshop plugin for the first time. Now the first thing you have to do is you have to install the product, and there's lots of ways to do that, but an easy way is to go to Support, Update Your Product, and Download Now. This will download the latest version of the Photoshop plugin. It actually is going to install two programs. One, a installer that will handle the installation of the actual plugin itself, and it will perform the activation task to let you enter your serial number. So I'm going to pause recording while this downloads. Okay, so it's all downloaded and ready to run. And basically you can take all of the defaults, install it into the Green Screen Wizard plugin, and install. And what we're installing again is two things: a bunch of sample files and the program that's going to actually activate the product. Now you can see it looks like nothing happened. Part of the problem is sometimes the browser will hide the programs behind it, so let's see if that's the case, and it is. So after you've done all that, you might want to close the browser. You can either activate by the web, which is the vastly preferred way. If you're connected to the internet, you should activate by the web. The other activate by website is for people that aren't connected to the internet. It's a lot harder, and it's prone to error. So we click activate by the web. Notice it fills in our serial number. We look in the email that was sent us for our serial number, and I'm sorry, the other one was the hardware code, but our serial number is GSWP, and it should always start with those four letters and then a bunch of numbers: 31522-17366. Then enter your name. Oops, little caps lock there. And enter your email address. And submit. If all goes well, your serial number will be approved. If you use it too many times, you'll be told that. And it creates all this stuff that you would use if you had to activate it on a second machine, but we're going to just activate the product. It says thank you for activating, and then a little dialog box will appear that basically talks about all the things you can do in Green Screen Wizard and basically how to do it. So I suggest you read through that once you installed it before you start. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's also important not to run Photoshop. So you want Photoshop not running when you install it, because the plugins are loaded at install or when the program starts up. So it doesn't scan for them or load them later. So you have to restart Photoshop every time you change a plugin. Okay, so let's open a file and let's go with something called First Photo. Now you notice First Photo, if you look over at the layers, it's got a green layer over a background layer. And even though this is a two-layer system, in the advanced video that I'm going to make next, I'll discuss why we have a three-layer system. But for now, we'll just deal with two layers. You got to make sure that the the green layer is the selected layer. Okay. Then you go to Filter, Green Screen Wizard, three-layer system, and that's it. You can change items here. Let's output this one. And since it was a pretty straightforward green screen, we really didn't need to do any adjustments. There was no real problems with it. And there you go. Now if you notice, this top layer is actually an integrated image. It means the foreground and background have been integrated together. And we do that because the software actually looks at the background when it tries to resolve the edges to do the best possible integration. A lot of people don't want that though, because you can't move the image once that's happened. So let's redo it and go to Green Screen Wizard three-layer system again. but this time we'll output just the transparency information. So now we're doing a little less integration. We're not integrating it with the background, but we are taking advantage of some edge softening. And in a fairly good image, you won't really notice a difference. But the big difference is now, particularly if I get rid of the background, you see that we have just the green removed, and therefore we can move the image on the transparent background. Now a lot of people say, well, I'd like to save just the image with the transparent background. How do I do that? You still, no matter what, have to create a background. It's got to have at least 2 layers for the thing to work. Now once that's all done, you can discard the background layer and have just the green screen wizard, or just the foreground layer. Now you could save this as a PNG file or a PSD file, whatever you want, and you can use it. So if you want to put multiple people on a page or anything like that, you can do that pretty easily using this technique. Okay, let's take a look at something that's a little harder. What about creating our own image? So we need an image, and let's load Leo. And let's load a background. So we go our background samples. Okay. This doesn't happen to have the same color as what we're working in, so I'm going to convert it. That's really not important. The drag tool, this little tool, or move tool up here, is the one that we're going to use now to create our overlaid image. If you look at the layers system on our rock wall, we only have 1 image, so we've got to drag a green image on it. Remember, you always need 2 layers. There we go. And we see that Leo just fits perfectly. But that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to demonstrate a bigger image. So let's just make Leo a little bigger. And let's see, let's make him 300, 400 dots per inch. Oh, sorry, I did the wrong one. Okay, so there's Leo now a little bit bigger. I'm doing this because I want to illustrate how to scale the image. Okay, now you see Leo is too big for the background. So the way we fix that is we go Control T as in Tom. That puts us in our scaling mode. And then this is a key I didn't know about for a long time, but you hold down the Control key and you hit 0 and you get this kind of display. Now you can see it's very easy to scale Leo around and make him fit in there. Now you also see it's pretty easy to distort poor old Leo. So we get him kind of where we want him, and then there's a little thing up here that says make the scaling equal, and that's what we'll do. We'll make him just a little smaller, make him equal, and now we have 2 layers and we're ready to go. And filter, we have to actually end the scaling. Now we can filter. Green screen wizard, 3-layer system. And I think we'll integrate old Leo. There you go. Now the resolution of the output is determined by the background image. Okay, and if it's a really big file, you might want to turn off the reality integration and just go with that. Well, you might want to turn it off just because it'll go faster. So this concludes my intro for using the Photoshop plugin, but we haven't really discussed why we'd want to use the Photoshop plugin. So in the next series I'm going to talk about some more advanced features and do some really cool things. Thanks for now. Catch you later.